Good day, everyone. I am Yamelo Shintion, and I am one of the reporters for the Libya's literature. Together with my partner Crisel Toledo, we're going to discuss and report about the literature that was assigned to our group. But before we proceed to it, I am going to introduce first the country, some information or background about Libya. The country of Libya is located in the part of the North Africa, and it is bounded by the Mediterranean Sea and the North Egypt on the east, Sudan on the southeast, Nigeria and Chad on the south, and Tunisia and Algeria on the west. So Libya is known for being located in a desert place or in a desert environment because most part of the country lies in the Sahara Desert. So the largest city of Libya is the Tripoli, which is also the capital city of Libya, and it is located in the western part of Libya and contains over 3 million total of population out of 7 million people total of population of Libya. Now here are the three historical or traditional regions of Libya. First one is the Tripolitania, which is located in the northwest part of Libya. Next is the Cyrenaica, which is on the east, and the third one, Fezzan, on the southwest. So now let's have a little background about the Tripolitania region. Tripolitania region, the people in here has cultural ties with the Maghreb, and they are they are political conscious, like they are very engaged with political issues in the politics. While the Cyrenaica, they are not in touch with politics, like they are not influenced by it. And the third one, the Fezzan, also the same as the Cyrenaica, they are not political influence, but the nomads traditionally looked for leadership. Now here are some facts about Libya. Libya is actually the fourth largest country in Africa, given the fact that its population is a total of 7 million. And also, it is also the second largest in the Arab world and Arab League behind Algeria, and the 60th largest country in the world. Now, before Libya gained their independence in the year 1951, they are actually colonized, or they were ruled by a foreign country for centuries. And by the year 1951, they successfully gained their independence, their national independence. So, but before that year, they also discover the oil, which is the first step for their immersed wealth. The country's first step for immersed wealth. It is the reason why they evolve, or their economy developed. Their country were developed. So Libya is the 10th largest proven oil reserves of any country in the world. Now let's take a look on Libya before they discover oil. So 1950 is the year that they discover oil, which is in that year also, which is far from the situation before they discover it. Libya was actually considered as poor in natural resources because their resources are very limited because of the factors that affects them, and that is because of their environment, the place they settled in. They are in a desert environment. Also, aside from that, Libya was actually dependent on the foreign aid. They just depend on the support or help from the other countries, and also the imports of the maintenance of the country's economy, until they discover the petroleum or oil happen, and that changes the situation. Now let's take a look on the language of Libya. So the language of this country is officially Arabic, because most of the people or Libyans in the country speak Arabic. But there are still other varieties, like some of the people in there also speaks other language such as English, Italian, and French. Most of the people in Libya, they consider themselves as Arabs, although there is a strong Berber influence. When we say Berber influence, like they are the native people of Libya. So 98% is Berber Arabic, and the remaining percent, which is 2, are foreign workers from other Arab countries. So Islam is like considered as the official religion of Libya, because 97% of people or population belong to the Islam religion, while only 3% for other existing religions. And also, according to Colonel Gaddafi, he stated that Islam is the only viable system to every branches of the problems, may it be political, economic, and social. He believes that Islam religion would help them in any way, like in times of problems, like when they encounter problems in terms of political, economic, and social, or any other kind of problems. He believes that Islam religion would be the perfect way for finding a solution to it. For the culture of Libya, it is a collective culture that in order to maintain sense of harmony, peace, and order, Libyans really they will act with decorum or proper etiquette, proper behavior at all times, and they do not do something harm to cause, because they believe that in order to have peace and order in their place or in their country, between the people in their society, they must respect one another, and they must be conscious on their actions, like they should not do anything harm to cause a problem. Also, Libyans give importance and maintain the dignity, honor, and good reputation of their families through their own conduct. So, as I said earlier, that Libyans are really conscious through their actions. So, also the reason in that because they protected or they respect their family's reputation, so they really reflected it on their own actions. Now we are on the last part of my report, which is the highlights of the country of Libya. These are the significant milestones of Libya. First is the introduction of Islam religion and the Arabization of the country in the Middle Ages, and also the national independence of the country, which is on the 1951, for they are ruled and colonized for centuries. And the last but the interesting part is the discovery of petroleum, which is one of the reasons why their economy evolved, and their situation changed. So that is all for my report on the introduction to Libya. Now my partner Crisel would be the one to report the literature that was assigned to our group, and it is a literature from Libya.
To further discuss Libyan literature, we have decided to entitle our approach as a histobiographical critical analysis of the tales of Hodja Nasreddin. So, histobiographical approach is, we think, the most appropriate one to be imposed on this project because his biographical approach establishes a connection between the reader and the author's life. Since Hodja Nasreddin is used to live in many years ago, so we think it is better to go back as the historical events, the life, and it gives the information of the author in his own period. Nasreddin Hodja, whose full name is Nasir-ud-Din Mahmud al-Huli, was a Turkish legendary trickster, philosopher, and Sufi who was born in 1208 in the village of Horto near Sivrihisar, Akşehir province, now Turkey. Reportedly, it was in the year 1237 when he moved to Akşehir, and between 1284 or 1285 was when he expired. Anecdotes in beyond 315 accounts have been attributed to Hodja as he most often branded. It means teacher or scholar. Oftentimes he was compared to a famous European trickster, Spiegel. So during the 13th century, Nasreddin served as Qadi, an Islamic term for judge or ombudsman, based on organized resistance against the Mongol invasion. And history could tell that the Mongol invasion was actually during 1241 to 1335, and it coincides with how the accounts of Hodja Nasreddin, which is the 13th century. So he surely addresses circumstantial justice problems through the lens of creative humor and experimenting through religious placation. Nasreddin's remarkable experiences in various fields in having lived in multiple cities, and the fact that he is so intelligent, he is immediately and warmly embraced by different nations and by different cultures. In conclusion, as perennial discourse prevails to this day, the works of Nasreddin somehow have been subject to modification. The crafts of Nasreddin mirrors his early life in the portable village setting. His folktale highlights judicious conceptualization that became a perfect replica of relevance and timelessness. It's on 1571 Nasreddin's oldest manuscript date. Above all, Hodja Nasreddin is nothing less than a legendary.
Bigger than a chase, you're a miracle. Greater things are waiting for you. Storms never last, and good people stay.